The next thing that needs to be considered when we're developing passages are introductions and conclusions. So with introductions and conclusions, we're talking about sentences that like start and end paragraphs or start and end entire passages. So introduction should explain the topic and purpose of a paragraph. It should include information that's discussed later, not just information that's thrown there out of nowhere. And when appropriate, like show good transitions from one paragraph to the next. Conclusions should summarize whatever the passage or paragraph is saying, include information discussed earlier in the paragraph, and also help transition. So it's a lot of the same, but we just need to make sure that those things are staying within the topic of the rest of the paragraph, aren't coming out of nowhere, and aren't really awkward when it comes to these transitions that we're looking for in the writing sections. So what you should do when you're looking at these is try to determine what the writer's intended purpose for the paragraph or the essay as a whole is. So that'll tell you if the introduction and conclusion are appropriate. Read before and after the underlined segments and note any key transition words. Eliminate choices that don't provide appropriate introduction or conclusion. So anything that's just awkward and like doesn't sound good when it comes to transitioning, you want to take those away. For a question about the conclusion to the passage, eliminate the choices that focus too much on the paragraph and not on the passage as a whole. So again, you need to think through what is a good conclusion for a paragraph versus what's a good conclusion for an entire passage. Those two things are going to have different scopes and different uses, so you have to be able to pick those terms apart when you are selecting the best thing. And finally, always look to choose the options that are most relevant.